Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and we just got a new Master Duel ban list. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon in the description below for all those awesome rewards. So let's go ahead and check out this new ban list. So it's actually a very large ban list for Master Duel, and this ban list will take effect July 10th. So let's go over the cards that got banned and got brought back off the list. So first off, we have Kaiser Coliseum that was actually previously at 1. This card also just got banned in the OCG for an understandable reason that this card is a lot like Mystic Mine, just like I discussed in my OCG ban list video. That this card just makes for unfair game states to make it so that you and your opponent can only control the same amount of monsters, which is really unfair as a floodgate continuous spell. And I feel like this card should be banned in every single format, and now it is. For the next card, we have Catapult Turtle, which was previously at 3 and it's now banned. And I can totally understand why they would go ahead and ban this card in the OCG and now in Master Duel with this list, because hopefully we're going to be getting the Tachyon card soon, which means that this card needs to be banned again in every single format. It's probably going to happen in the next TCG ban list as well, that we're going to see Catapult Turtle get banned. But that's it for the ban cards. For the limited cards, we have Summon Limit as the only card that got limited on this list, going from 3 to 1, which again, I totally understand this card going to 1, but I feel like this card should have also been banned because it's a card that you can establish your entire field, pass to the opponent having this card set, flip it up during your opponent's draw phase, standby phase, or even main phase to make it so that they can only summon 2 monsters out to their side of the field, which is just completely unfair for both players to be able to establish a board and then flip this card up to basically lock down the opponent. This card should actually be banned, and I really like the way they handled this card in the TCG by just instantly banning this card so we don't have to deal with it anymore, but hopefully on following lists we'll see this card get banned. The next card we have is for the semi-limit section. We actually have a bunch of cards that got semi-limited, starting off with Bonfire. Bonfire was previously at 3 and is now at 2, which is a great hit for Snake Eye. I feel like this card needed to be hit, and I feel like it's a totally justified hit. They also did this in the OCG, which is totally fair, and I can see this happening in the TCG soon, but for Master Duel, I feel like it's a great hit and a great step in the right direction to be able to hit Snake Eye. For the next hit, it's a little bit weird. We actually have aa-zeus going from 1 to 2 copies, which I feel like they're just moving this card from 1 to 2, and eventually it's just going to go to 3, because who plays 2 copies of Zeus anyways? I feel like this card moving from 1 to 2 does absolutely nothing, but I do feel like it's very interesting that this card is slowly going to move to 3, because it probably will be at 3 on the next list. The next card we have is Rescue Ace Airlifter, going from 3 to 2 copies, which I feel like is totally fine because they're slowly hitting Rescue Ace as well. And Rescue Ace is a really powerful deck to be able to play in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel because it's so good and so consistent, especially with the Snake Eye engine included in it. And the Diabell Star cards helping you get to Hydrant is just so good, and I totally understand why they would hit Airlifter because this card can actually get you to some really powerful plays. We then have Per Lily going from 3 to 2 copies, which again is one of those cards that I feel like is justified to be able to hit to 2 copies because it limits what Pearly can do just a little bit more, which is totally fine in my book because Pearly is a really powerful deck overall, and by hitting this card it hurts the consistency a little bit. That's it for the semi-limited cards. Let's talk about the unlimited cards because we have a lot of cards that actually got unlimited, starting off with Magispector Kirin going from 0 all the way to 3 copies instantly, which is absolutely crazy because they actually have Electromite in Master Duel, which is absolutely insane. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with this card going to 3 copies because it is a balance, and from it going to 0 to 3 instantaneously is actually broken. This card is going to be really interesting because it is a balance, and it's going to be included in a lot of Pendulum decks, but I feel like it's probably in a lot of other Pendulum decks outside of Magispector. It's probably just going to be played at 1, but it's still a really good card overall. We then have Catch Your Birth going from 2 to 3 copies, and I feel like this card is almost like a Destiny Hero Malicious now, that it's been at 1, now it's at 2, then it's been now to 3 copies, and I feel like this card has gone from everything except for ban. But I can totally understand why they're playing around the Kashtira to actually understand where this card belongs and using Master Duel as almost like a testing ground to decide exactly what they want to do to Kashtira to make it playable, but not completely a dominating force. So I understand them moving this card from 2 to 3 copies, because Kashtira already has a lot of hits on the ban list as well in Master Duel. Now Yatagarasu goes from 1 to 3 copies, and again, this is another card that I can totally understand them moving, because not a lot of players actually play Yata Lock anymore, so I totally understand them moving this card from 1 to 3 copies, because it's just been power crept out of the game, and I feel like this card is totally fine to move to 3 copies. We then have Ptolemaeus moving from 1 to 3 copies as well, and again, this is one of those cards that I feel like you only really need a single copy anyways to be able to establish a turn skip or summon out a copy of a really powerful boss monster to your side of the field. So this is another one of those cards that I feel like it's totally fine to move it to 3 copies, because this card is one of those cards that it either needs to be at 0 or 3 copies. 1 and 2 really doesn't matter, because you only really play either 1 copy of this card or no copies of this card outside of its own deck, which is Tellarknights, and so I feel like this card is totally fine to move to 3. So overall, what do you guys think of this list? I feel like it's totally fine. Again, Master Duel does a lot of ban lists where it's usually probably once a month that they do a ban list, and I feel like this is a very interesting ban list. It shows a lot of signs of the OCG ban list in this one, with Bonfire, Summon Limit, Kaiser Coliseum, and Catapult Turtle, even Magispector Kirin moving on this particular list. I feel like it's totally fine for this particular list, because we're going to get another one soon, and we don't know the support that we're actually going to get. Hopefully we're going to get Centurion soon. I have no idea what we're actually going to get, but I feel like with this particular list, they're showing signs that they may give us the Tachyon card soon, and it does look like they're taking a stance against Snake Eye as well, and other meta decks like Rescue Ace, and even Pearly, which is very interesting as well. I really do like the fact that they're moving Zeus slowly off the list. I feel like 2 copies of Zeus doesn't matter, but overall, I think this list is totally fine. So definitely tell me what you guys think of this list down in the comments down below. I, again, would wish for more on the list, but I feel like this list is overall a fine list, and like basically overall. I feel like eventually they may get rid of Kashtira Arise Heart to be able to move the Kashtira cards around a little bit more, but definitely comment down below what you guys want to see off the list. Again, I think it's a fine list. I feel like they moved a lot of cards, and a lot more cards than they usually move on the list, and I'm surprised they didn't move some of the Dragon Rulers like they did on the OCG list, even though they have a lot more Dragon Rulers and Master Duel than they do in the TCG. So that's gonna do it for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Definitely tell me down in the comments down below what you guys would like to see on the next ban list for Master Duel, because again, we usually get them about once a month, so hopefully we'll get another one soon for more moves on the list, and what support you would like to see put into Master Duel. I would really like to see the Tachyon cards, and even a bunch of other cards that we're going to get soon out of a lot of different packs. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.